friends, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me on another episode of Kim Barefoot in the Kitchen, my fake cooking show where we cook real good food for real good people in my real small kitchen. Today we are going to make another muffin recipe, and this one is similar to ones that I have already posted. Slight difference, this one is with zucchini and carrot. And don't worry if you don't have enough zucchini or carrot, then you can always substitute some apple in there as well. We're going to use less rolled oats this time, but they're still going to be an amazing hearty muffin that you're going to enjoy at breakfast time. It is Sunday, which means it was long run Sunday today, and I was listening to a guided run. Today was 16 kilometers, and something that the coach said really hit home with me, and he said you will never run the race that you want if you're always running in the past. And he said run in the moment, and what he meant by that was that if you're always thinking about races you've done in the past, you'll be stuck there, and you'll be thinking about that instead of enjoying the moment. And when you are running in the moment, then you're ready to run into the future. And I really took that to heart, and I thought, you know what, that is a lot like life. You know, we can't be living our best life if we're constantly looking in the rear view mirror. I mean, we've all had troubles and heartaches, things that have disappointed us, and those memories come back. For some of us, they come back often, for others every now and again, but don't get stuck there. Live in the moment. Live right now. Put your energy into today, and then when tomorrow comes, one day at a time, remember, then put your energy into tomorrow. And that way you're going to just have a fabulously bright future. Anyway, just a few thoughts. I do a lot of thinking when I'm doing my running, and running is a lot like life, right? We're in this race. Okay, let's get started. I'll read off the list of ingredients for you, and you can assemble them and get them ready. So I'm going to read them off, and then you can hit pause, get them ready, and then hit go again, and we can cook together. Okay, here we go. So we've got 2 cups of almond meal, and almond meal is very important because it's such a good source of protein, right? And these are a high protein muffin. And then 1 cup of rolled oats, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a half teaspoon of ginger. If you're not a nutmeg or ginger fan, then leave it out, okay? Some people don't like cinnamon. I think it gives it a really nice taste. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of salt. Now here we go with our add-ins. You can do just 1/2 cup of one of these, or you can do a 1/2 cup of all of these, or a 1/4 cup. When I make these muffins, I don't really get stuck on how much I weigh, how much I measure for the add-ins, because I like a lot of stuff in my muffins, right? So the add-ins that I've chosen today, and you can choose whatever add-ins you want. You can add in blueberries. I have 1/2 cup of walnuts, a 1/4 cup of goji berries, a 1/2 cup of cranberries, and a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips in here today. So those are my add-ins. You can add dates, you can add raisins, as I said, blueberries, whatever you like in your muffins. We're adding 3 eggs, 1 cup of grated zucchini, 1 cup of grated carrots, 6 tablespoons of butter or butter substitute. And remember, you can do this vegan if instead of the 3 eggs you use your egg substitute, that's fine. And 1/2 cup of honey, or if you're doing these vegan, then it's a 1/2 cup of maple syrup, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So let's go, let's start this. So we're gonna do our dry mixture first. And for the dry mixture, we said we want 2 cups of almond meal. And you guys know when I'm looking up here that I'm looking at my recipe, right? Let me get my measuring cups. Okay, so 2 cups of almond meal. There we go. Now the proper way to measure is not to shake. I shouldn't be teaching you guys bad habits, but you level it off. That's the proper way to do it. There we go. That is our 2 cups of almond meal. And then we want 1 cup of rolled oats. And I was doing a little bit of research, and you can use the big flake oats. You can also use the quick oats, but the instant oats are pushing it, okay? So that's 1 cup. I haven't done anything with nutmeg for a while, but today I thought, yeah, let's do it. And I've got 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And then I've got 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That's going in as well. And then to our dry ingredients, we're going to add our add-ins. There we go. And then we're just going to give that a stir. Good stuff. So far, so good. Okay. So this is our wet ingredients, and I never have a big enough bowl for my wet ingredients. I must go buy. It's on my list of things to do. We can use the fork here. So your butter or your butter substitute should be melted, and you can go ahead and add that in. There we go. And we want 3 eggs. And I'm just going to stir them up in my butter bowl. There we go. And the 6 tablespoons of butter or butter substitute is actually 1/2 cup. So demystify that for you. And I'm going to be real careful here so that I can get all of this in the bowl. These are going to be amazing. These are going to be very, very tasty. Once you've got all of the ingredients ready, then the muffins actually come together very, very quickly. Okay. We also want in here 1/2 cup of honey or maple syrup. And here's my honey. And you guys have seen my, it's not Coca-Cola, it's wild honey. You guys know that, right? 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup seems like a lot, but honey is a humectant. So it's going to make sure that your muffins turn out nice and moist. You don't want dry muffins. Oh, what is worse than a dry muffin? Oh, yuck. Watered down beer. I mean, maybe that's worse. There we go. Give that a stir. And we want 1 teaspoon of vanilla. But if you guys have seen me cook before, you know that I always add 1 tablespoon. I like my vanilla. And when you're cooking gluten-free, it's nice to amp up the taste a little bit. Okay. The only thing that we missed so far is the salt. And we want to have a teaspoon of salt in here. There we go. Put that in our dry mixture. This one is coming together very quickly. Okay, I'm just going to read through, as I always do, to make sure that I don't forget anything, which I sometimes do. Okay. 2 cups of almond meal, 1 cup of rolled oats, 2 teaspoons cinnamon, check, half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Add your ginger in here, half a teaspoon too, if you like that. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup of walnuts or raisins or chocolate chips or goji berries or blueberries or dates, or all of it if you want. It's up to you. 3 eggs, room temperature. 1 cup of grated zucchini, 1 cup of grated carrots, and the grated carrots, 2, usually gives me more than enough so that I have some for my salad during the week. 6 tablespoons of butter or butter substitute, which is actually half a cup. Half a cup of honey or maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to stir all of this together, and these are going to cook at 350 degrees for 25 minutes, and then they're going to be enjoyed. Okay, let's add our wet mixture to our dry. Nice, very nice. Every last drop. And then a gentle stir. Now this batter is going to be thick, thicker than most muffin batters. And that is perfectly fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. Oh, this looks amazing. This is going to be so good. I can hardly wait to try one of these. And that's about how thick it should be. Good. Okay. I like to add, if you don't have nut allergies, then do add some walnuts or almonds if you like almonds, or if you've got macadamia nuts would be awesome in these too. But it really adds to the texture because everything else is going to be fairly soft. So dates are also an excellent thing to add in to give your muffins some more texture, and they taste really good with a cup of coffee too. Okay, my wet mixture and my dry mixture is added together. These are ready to go into the muffin tins. So go ahead and grab your muffin tins and your liners if that's what you're using, or your silicone muffin forms if that's what you're using, and then we'll put these together and get them in the oven. Something else that I was listening to as I was running this week, the coach was talking about strength. You need strength to be an athlete. You need strength to be human. You need physical strength, but you also need mental strength, right? And then he was talking about help. It takes strength to help others, but it also takes strength to ask for help. And just talking to some of my friends this week, lately, and everybody has, not everybody, lots of people have struggles right now. Most people have struggles right now. And I really, put a lot of thought into this idea of it takes strength to ask for help and some humility as well. So tell yourself that you're strong enough to ask for help when you need it. Everybody at some point in their life needs some help. I know that I have at times needed help, and I've been super appreciative of all my friends that have helped me, and I know that a lot of you that are watching this can say, hey, I've helped her, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm thankful that I was strong enough to ask for help, and I was thankful that you were strong enough to help me. And in this day and age, we're going to continue to need help and be helpful to others. And I think that that's enough pep talks for one cooking episode. These muffins freeze really well. And one of the reasons why I haven't posted a lot of recipes lately, I think I've just had one in the last 2 weeks, is because I've had a really bad sinus infection. I've been really sick. And too sick to cook for myself, actually. It's been really not great in the Tunison household here. And I was just starving one day. I was like, oh, I really would like something to eat, something comforting. And lo and behold, in the back of my freezer was a package of these muffins, these amazing muffins. And I was so happy. So, moral of the story is, make these muffins and eat some and put them in the freezer, because you never know when you're going to need them. And they'll stay in the freezer. They're good for at least a month. It's safely a month. If you've wrapped them really good in like the good heavy freezer proof paper or wrapping, whatever you've got, then you can do 2 months in the freezer. Not that they would ever last that long. Okay. So when you're putting these in the muffin tins, make sure that you fill them right to the rim, right to the brim. Okay. Because there's no baking powder in them, right? They're not like a cupcake, something like that. They're not really going to rise a lot. So go ahead and fill them to the brim so that when you are ready to eat these, you've got a nice sized muffin. Okay. The recipe always says it makes 12. Because I add in so many extra things, I get more than 12. So I do 12 of the big ones, and then with the leftover, I do the mini muffins, which is always lots of fun. Who doesn't love a mini muffin? Okay, these are ready. I'm going to pop them in the oven for 25 minutes, and then I will catch you after, and we'll do a taste test together. How does that sound? Okay, we did it. We made the muffins very good. Another version of the superhero muffins. This is the version that I used to make when I had my little side hustle, my little baking business that I don't have time for anymore. Anyway, my muffins cooled for about a half hour. Really, it, in a perfect world, would cool much longer before I give it a taste test. Half hour, everything is still warm, and it's just, to me, it just needs time to let those flavors mellow a little bit. That's why these are way better the next day, in my opinion, anyway. But let's give it a go. I hope that yours turned out well. That's what they look like. Again, mine looks so dark. It's not because it's overcooked at all. It's because of the wild honey that I'm using. Okay, here we go. I'm excited. The other reason why it should cool for longer than a half hour is because otherwise it sticks to the muffin wrapper. Okay. These are really good. I'm tasting just a hint, just a little bit of the nutmeg. Wow, these are good. Oh, these are going to be so good tomorrow morning with my morning cup of coffee as I'm laying in my hammock, which is how I love to start the perfect day. Coffee, one of these muffins in the hammock with something to read, or just enjoy the sound of the birds. That does it for me. I really like these. I love the walnut in them. They look pretty. Like you can see all kinds of goodies in there, right? They're not overly sweet. I think we only added a half a cup of honey. My goodness, I love these muffins. Wow. So if you're watching till the end, you're still with me. Hit that like button, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and then you'll get notice right away when a new recipe comes up. And now that I'm feeling much better, I should be cranking out a few more recipes for you guys. I hope you have a great day today. I hope that you have time to sit down with a coffee and a muffin and just savor and enjoy living in the moment today. This is Kim, once again, from my Real Small Kitchen, signing off from my fake cooking show. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I miss you all. Can't wait to come back to Canada and see all of you and give you big hugs. Thank you, and bye-bye.